Hello. Earlier this week I posted this to-do list to the Moodle website, and it kind of went over the last minute things I had to do to finish off my Google Classroom that I've been designing. As you can see here, I had a few links and web pages and examples to still upload, some forms to make, and some digital tools that I still needed to create for my website. So this screencast is really just kind of going over what I've done this week, as well as kind of how my class is looking right now. At this point, it's almost done, so let me just show you kind of what I have so far. So as before, this is my course overview. It has a small description of what the course is all about, my welcome letter to the parents, my standards and objectives, which I've updated to include both the English as well as the ISTE standards. Once again, there's nothing in announcements yet, but this form is going to be for anything about the class, anything about the school, anything that the students want to post. That's just kind of an announcement so that everyone can know about it, whether it's sports, activities, or class related. The next tag is our class blog. Right now, like I said, the only thing in there is the letter to the parents, but the class blog is really a place for students to share assignments that they want other people to be able to see. They're going to each have their own blogs where they're going to keep all their materials so that it doesn't get lost or doesn't get misplaced, and I'll be able to see those. But with the openness of Google Classroom and Google products, I want to make sure that no one's website gets ruined on accident or, God forbid, on purpose. So this is where they're going to be posting, and it creates a form where they can actually see each other's work, make comments, and do some stuff there. The next tags are quarter 1 and quarter 2. They look exactly the same. But like before, the first thing that they'll see is a checklist. This is for them to either print off, keep in their Google Docs, just take a look at, and really it's just to mark off that they've done something, or they can even highlight things that they still have to do. The actual modules are the week's lesson, and they have a little greeting, followed by the goals of the week, a short description of kind of what I'm looking for, and then the week assignment. So for this week, it's based on a pass-fail standard, and it's broken into your materials, websites, different links, different forms, and different materials that I've uploaded, and then the assignments. And then at the bottom, you see the standards that we're looking at for that week. So for this week, it's standards 1, 3, 6, and 7. And I'll show you kind of what those look like in a moment. As you can see, the weeks have all been completed. So weeks 1 through 6, and then for quarter 2, week 1 through, I believe, 7. And I'll just show you kind of where they're ending at. So for week 7, they're going to design a conference poster, and it's kind of be like a night where it'll either be a night or we'll post them around the school. I would prefer it to be kind of like an art showcase night where they can put up their posters, kind of like a science fair, art fair thing, and they can go around and talk about it. Parents can come in, other students come in, just have a night for them after all this work. And the standards for this one are 1, 3, 4, 8, and 9. And like I said before, I will go over what those are in a minute. The next thing here is my digital toolbox. As you can see here, it says below you will find different links to create your own videos. If you find any other video sharing links, please feel free to comment below. And then I just gave them a few things. And then they can always add their links here if they find anything interesting. And I do that for annotations, surveys, concept maps, posters, podcasts, graphic organizers, how to do presentations, and conference posters. So this site is really different tools that they can use to make their final project, because throughout this course, it's really designing it how they want to. There are a few assignments that are mandatory, like creating a poster, but not everything is mandatory. So here is, we kind of went over what podcasts are, but we haven't really made them ourselves. If you want to learn more about that for your final project, go for it. Here's some websites, here's some links. I can help you with it if you need help. The next section that I have are instructional videos. These are where I put my RLOs. So you can see my annotation RLO, survey RLO, poster RLO, and the brand new one that I made this week, Let's Talk About Podcasts. I'll probably post this to our Moodle website at the end of this video as well, just so that you can take a look at it. This one does not include a assessment form. However, it does say to go off and make their own after watching it, as a little way to get a handle on that if that's something that they want to do. So the actual assessment, I guess, would be creating their own. The last two parts are our rubrics and forms and our homework box. So rubrics and forms really have my standards, which I'll kind of run through real quick. So the standards that I'm looking at are production distributive writing, research to build and present knowledge, presentation of knowledge and ideas, comprehension and collaboration, integration of knowledge and ideas, the empowered learner, digital citizen, innovative design, and creative communicator. So I'm combining both the ELA standards and the ISTE technology standards to really give the students a grasp on what they're learning. The other thing here are my poster evaluation, student feedback forms, as well as pre and post meeting slips and their final project description. So let me just show you, for example, let's take a look at these last two things here. So my pre and post meeting slips are really basic. It has their name, their group number, their project, and it has a criteria. So did they meet the project deadlines? Did their group members, did they have any comments? Did they cooperate well? And everything here has a 1 to 5 scale. And then the last question is, who do you consider to be the group leader? Who would you put up and say, this person put in a lot of work, a lot of effort, and they deserve to be recognized? And obviously some of their forms are going to be different, but this is a chance for me to meet with them and ask them why. And also make sure who's doing more work, who's doing less work, and kind of how the group is feeling. And then everything that this is building up to, which I will start the year by showing them this form so that they know where everything's heading. It's obviously going to be one on quarter 2, but I want them to know ahead of time. So this is something I would share with them probably before the course even starts. First thing. So the introduction, service learning engages students in problem solving with their communities and the world at large. Service learning helps master making connections between what you are studying and its many applications. Service learning also helps develop a range of skills from professional and creative writing to public speaking. For your final project, you and your group will be designing a presentation that covers the benefits and challenges as well as goals and implementations of a service project you will be performing next semester. How you approach this final presentation is up to you, but it must include a digital component, an oral component, and a physical component. Your group can use any of the skills or activities we have produced thus far or create a much larger project. You'll be meeting with your teacher once a week as both an individual and a group in order to discuss how things are going and talk about where your project is headed. Remember, service projects should be about something that you are interested in, but also need to be realistic in the breadth and goals. Try to think of the time you will have come next semester, as well as what resources you may need in planning your project. And then I kind of go over the goals and the standards we're looking at. So one thing that I really want to make clear with the students before time, and I have mentioned in some other directions earlier, as well as in a few other projects, is that their final project needs to be realistic. So I can't stress that enough. If you really love marine life, but the nearest ocean is 3 hours away, that's not realistic. You can still do something with marine life. You can design a product that could help animals. You can raise money for marine life. But actually going and cleaning up a beach isn't realistic if it's 3 hours away. And finally, the last thing, which again has nothing in it yet, is our homework box. This is for assignments that I want to view ahead of time before they go out to the students. So I believe this would be the rough draft of their final project is one thing that's going to go in here. So I want to see that before it goes out to the students to get one last look at before the final presentation. So this is kind of a general overview of my entire course as it is right now. And there are a few last minute things that I want to touch up, some wording to change, but overall this is kind of where my course is at this time. I hope everyone else's project is going well, and I look forward to